コポーロとウェディングインペリアルどっちにする？
いただきます。
いただきます。お、サクサクだ。
すごい。い
いただきます。
おいしい。いい香り。下を縫うか。切ってね。
just small, and I get lost in finding comfort this time. Fractals all around, in hopes that I find there's beauty in these broken zones. Now I know there is nothing to be feared. Oh, can we exist? Are we just clouds up in the northern hemisphere, taking up dreams that I've left for, that you've always feared? And you'll get mad at the world for spinning round and round, looking for a
いただきます。
safe and sound, and I get lost in finding comfort this time. Fractals all around, in hopes that I have found it. There's beauty